You're watching the free version of Silhouette Essentials. For projects and footage, head to BorisFX.com for the premium download.
So there's a couple issues I see. It's a little bit uneven around the edge of the lips, and there's a little bit, they look a little bit dry, or like you can see the creases in the lips. So I don't want to really make this, tone it all the way down, like make no wrinkles at all. I just want to lighten them a little bit, lessen them a little bit. So a way to do that is that you can add a filter. But before I do that, I want to fill out the lips first. And so a way to do that is that I can paint with a color. Let's go to the color tool, click C, and I can sample, or actually Shift C, sample the color of the lips, and I can paint the outline. But I need to have a mat for that. And I actually have one. I rotated the lips. So if you can see here, I'll turn these on. So I tracked the upper lip and lower lip, and then I actually articulated the lips because I knew I would need these shapes throughout the shot. Okay, so then if I have my shapes here, this is the lower lip, I'm going to use this as a holdout mat. I'm going to go to my paint node here. I'm going to select my tracker, which is the lower lip. Let's find that. Okay, lower lip. And while I'm in here as well, I'm going to click the lower lip, and I have made a blur of 3, and I actually turned on motion blur for the roto node there, and also in the parameters here. We'll enable that. So then when the shape is moving through, if I'm painting near this line, it's going to have a nice blur and a fall off from the motion blur. If I click A, and we'll just go to the alpha channel, you can see it has some nice edges. I'll turn off the overlay by clicking 0, and you can see a little bit better. Okay, I'll just click the screen and the overlays come back on, and now we're ready to start. So I'm going to go to maybe the first frame, doesn't really matter. And I'm in the paint node here, and I need to select a color, and there's 2 ways to select the color. I can either click the period key with my cursor over the area I want to sample, and I get this nice pink color here, or I can right mouse, or wherever your Wacom pen is set to, the button is set to the right, click, and I can draw a square, and that's going to sample all that color inside of the square. So for example, if I do the skin, you can see it's that color, and then I can just sample over there and get a nice pink. Okay, so I'm going to just choose this color here. And I think I'm going to paint at a lower opacity. It might be a little bit of an experiment. And now I want to make sure that I'm all set here with my alpha. So I want to just do a quick test. Okay, I'm painting inside the lips. And let's just do something that's extreme so you can tell. So now the holdout is the matte. So I'm just Command Z, and I just want a light opacity here. We'll try 20%, and I'm just going to stroke the outside of this lip. So I like that stroke I did, and I'm going to make sure everything's selected, and we'll just play this through. So now we can see, did I get the paint where I wanted to? Looks like I have an errant stroke there, so I'm just going to actually undo that, and we'll try this again. So it looks like this stroke I don't want. So I'll click on this stroke here, see if I can find it, and I'm going to delete that. So rebuild. So this means too that we're rebuilding that frame. Okay, let's try again. Okay, looks like it's still there for some reason. So what I'm going to do is just going to delete this whole folder and get rid of that. Okay. There we are. You can see we have the strokes in the right place, and we'll play that through. And now we can click between 1 and 2. And we have a little bit more color. And we can even take that farther. So it's just starting to fill out the color of the lips, and I can even do the top lip as well. The input and output. So it just kind of smoothed it out. So another thing I can do after I'm happy with all the lip paint, I still want to smooth it out a little bit. So I'm going to, there's a couple ways to do it. I could use the detail brush here. So I have the detail brush. Let's go to a frame where there's a lot of detail. So if I just right away paint that, you can see that's just not quite what I want. It's adding too much detail. Let's just Command Z and we'll make that 100%. I'm on the fine detail setting, but I don't want more detail. I actually want less detail. And so I could do a negative number, like negative, let's do like -3. And that kind of smooths it out. But the thing is that I don't know if my tracking's perfect for all the way that the lips move organically. And so the result might be a little haphazard if I use a paint stroke. So what I can do is just use the detail filter. So let's go to the nodes and we'll find that. Detail. And we'll put that in here. And I'm going to make a new roto node with just the lips. So I'm going to bring in a new roto node tab. Find my lips in here. Copy, paste, and then we'll hook that up into the matte output here in the detail. And I'll click Obey Matte. So now only the area is being affected inside of the lips. And let's see what we can change here. So now you can see that that's way too much down here. So we want a negative value, maybe -2. And that definitely softens it up. And it's using the outline from my roto. That's all nice and fixed up. But maybe that's a little too much, maybe -1.5. And you could keyframe this if you wanted to as well. So they're just softening up a little bit. We'll look at the frame, the node up here, before and after. Okay, so we've done a lot of paint in the demo, and I'm going to move over to the final. And we'll just click down here for the output. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and we can just compare. I'll just play this through. Okay, so now that's cached through. So here is the original and the final. If I click on A, actually the best way to see the alpha for that is down here. So these, and including the lips, are all the areas I painted. And we'll just do a snapshot. Let's go to a frame that's a little more in focus. So here is the cleaned frame, and here is the original. So you can see that I actually did not do a lot for the chin or the forehead. And that's going to be done with a more procedural method later. We'll zoom in one more time. So the moles are gone. I've filled in the lips, made them softer, removed some of the other blemishes on the sides of the face and the wrinkles on the sides of the mouth, and a little bit on the upper lip. So now this was rendered out to become the hand paint pre-comp, and that's going to be fed into the next section, which is the teeth. So what's remaining now, we'll just get out of the split screen and go to the output. We have to fix the teeth and the forehead and the chin. And the reason why I didn't paint the chin, because There's just a lot going on here. And to just paint all these little areas individually probably would not be the best way. Okay, so let's go over to the next section, which is the teeth.